I wrote this song about, I don't know, a dozen years ago. It's more true now than when I wrote it. It's called Hard Times in America.
I wrote that song in the early 90s and put it out on an EP. It was an election year. There were a lot of hard times in the country. People not having enough, farmers doing without. And I wanted to release it during the election year. I think it was 92. And here it is, 2008. And it's worse now than it was then. And I think that with the war and with the economy and with the rich and the poor and the distance between the two, very much a class struggle, you know? And I think that these are hard times in America. And I think that we can do better. And I think we will do better.
Hard Times in America was great because that's an older song of Willie's, and on this night of this performance, we really extended it.
Andy and Jimmy, when they play with me, when we play together, it's usually one or the other. And they're both such brilliant players. So with both of them in the same room the first night of rehearsal, and they started going back and forth, and we were just kind of laughing.
I remember Jimmy playing a riff, and Andy, who's, you know, the main guitarist of the band, he would sort of, I could tell that he was thinking, oh, he's going to play that? Well, I'm going to play this. And then Jimmy would play something else and it'd do that back and forth. You're going to play that? Well, let me show you with this. So not a rivalry thing, but they were just really speaking to each other, but in a bit of a, you know, like a jocular way.
It's like our Dick Wagner, Steve Hunter moment on Rock and Roll Animal Live, you know, the Lou Reed record, where they play that version of Sweet Jane, and it takes like 20 minutes before Lou comes in singing, because these guys are they're just, you know, up there wanking, having fun. I mean, we are guitar players, and we will do that.
That was totally impromptu. I don't think we knew we were going to do it until we actually did it. In rehearsal, we'd go, oh yeah, somebody's going to play a solo there. And then we turned into battle axe wielding fiends.
I think we had a couple of Layla moments there, but
I think ultimately we are good people. And I think that Jimmy and Andy on that night were really good people. And they really had fun with it. And looking back at Rich at one point, you know, how good is this? To hear those guys playing back and forth off each other, you live for that. You know, you live for those moments when it can be, what now? Let's go here, let's go here. And those guys are going everywhere at the same time. Love it.
Thanks, everybody. I wrote this song about, I don't know, a dozen years ago. It's more true now than when I wrote it. It's called Hard Times in America. Pounding in my brain, and half a dozen roaches crawling down my window pane. Got no food in the kitchen, I can't afford the rent. I had some money yesterday, but I don't know where it went. I couldn't find a job, I could not get a loan. I could not pay the bills, so they took back my telephone. My girlfriend Josephine gave me back my ring. Says, baby, till you get some dough, you can forget about the wild thing. Hard times in America. Hard times in America. Hard father did no harm, but he could not make the payment, so they auctioned off his farm. All across the heartland, from Mexico to Maine, people out of work, locked up in a human chain. Hard times in America. Hard times in America. Hard times in America. Hard times in America. They say it's getting better. We're closing the gap. You know as well as I do, that's just a load of crap. The rich are getting rich, the poor are staying poor. I do believe the Grim Reaper knocking at the door. Hard times in America. Hard times in America. Hard times in America. Hard times in America. Next door, the once a blushing bride, now a pile of skin and bone, afraid to go outside, where hustlers and pimps and murderers have been, dressed in rags and feathers on the outside looking in. People eating garbage, people drinking rain, sleeping on the sidewalks in a cardboard hurricane. Some are drinking whiskey, some are taking drugs, victims of a society that's working out the bugs. Hard times in America. 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 Jimmy Vivino, Andy York, Red Elvetta, Rich Pagano, Frankie Lee.
It's no good.